The history of the Naga between the Sundering and their appearance after the Third War is mostly unknown. They have only two known appearances. Firstly, 500 years ago, Queen Azshara imprisoned a kraken near the coast of the Borean Tundra and charged the Riplash Naga with keeping it there. Secondly, one, or perhaps more, tried to infiltrate the lair of the blue dragon Aspect Malygos, only to be killed by him, with their bodies discovered incidentally later on by Korialstrasz. Only very recently have they created settlements on land throughout Azeroth, often in alliance with the Twilight's Hammer or the satyrs or other servants of the old gods. The Naga were known to have employed various creatures to serve their ends, chiefly among them murlocs and mur'guls. During the events of Frozen Throne, however, Lady Vashj's Naga also employed couatl, snapdragons, and dragon turtles. So far, only dragon turtles have appeared in World of Warcraft, though, and even then, only extremely rarely under Naga control. Other than their almost universal reverence for Queen Azshara, the Naga are, strangely enough, a very divided and factionary people. Their society is split into numerous tribes which, to the best of our knowledge, do not really cooperate often unless under direct orders from Azshara, and presumably don't really have much in common with each other, except for their allegiance to their queen and their hatred for surface dwellers. Some Naga tribes even deviate from what could be considered social norms within their society. For instance, the Bloodwash Naga have, for the longest time, lived together and in peace with the Rockpool tribe of murlocs, while also worshipping Neptulon, the elemental lord of water. In Cataclysm, however, the Bloodwash renounced their reverence of Neptulon and enslaved the Rockpool murlocs, incidentally also worshippers of the Tidehunter. The reasons for this apparent divisiveness are not really clear, though I personally have a few theories. Namely, they are either reflections of the old factions of ancient highborn society, or they might have developed naturally due to, perhaps, an inactivity or, on the contrary, intentional divisions due to Azshara herself. The Naga under Lady Vashj were more or less aware of Illidan's plans to fight the Burning Legion. At the very least, they were far more loyal servants than Kael'thas was. As part of Illidan's plan, Vashj's Naga settled in Zangar Marsh, where they planned to gather as much of the remaining fresh water of Outland as possible, employing broken and lost one slaves while doing so. Illidan would then use this monopoly on water in order to basically blackmail the remaining independent factions of Outland into joining his fight against the Legion, but the plan never came to pass as Vashj and most of her Naga were defeated by adventurers. One Naga siren, Azshara Darksquall, was ordered by, presumably, Lady Naz'jar to find the artifact known as the Pearl of Pandaria and use it to find the lost continent itself. Eventually she found the pearl in the possession of a murloc, who was captured by a fisherman from the Wandering Isle, who managed to escape Azshara before being eaten by Shen-zin. Azshara grew obsessed with finding the Wandering Isle and, through a very complicated chain of events, was eventually killed by Chen's Stormstout. What's interesting to note is that Queen Azshara herself assigned this mission, believing that Pandaria held the future of all of Azeroth. What's also interesting to note is that, despite their mastery of the seas, the Naga still had no clue where Pandaria or the Wandering Island were, or if they even existed, with some Naga, such as Azshara herself, believing that the continent was destroyed during the Sundering.